Moro screen the Karasya, Ritvik, Shakti. Anyone can unmute. Okay. Okay. I think almost 7 here. I will get started. So, I mean, as usual, recap and restart करेंगे. And yeah, yes, today it will be our beginners mostly less last session can hide. So we have covered all beginner topics. We will be covering whatever we are doing today. Most of the beginners topics we plan kare we can completely guide. Yes, saying that yes, we will go with the recap. So this is class 7 and introduction to programming G, hello syntaxes, data types, loops. Next we can know built-in functions. So next to normal functions. Next we can keywords, so developer language. we can know normal can access karta kona, strings access karta kona, arrays lists access karta kona. So the start, stop, step code. And list we can modify karta kona. Custom functions, built-in functions at the madri. Kona custom functions likulata. And then lists madri, tuples many unta data types here. Difference avikino, lists avikino on tar declare kertikin take next to answer the values much iluvai. But tuples avikin te bitter set the values much comes. And then last class avikino function amosi. Avikino function and return type pati specific can say. So class 5 more. Kona functions kona use for your code functions likkuva. Using functions our program kona need can likkuva. The standardized can karata reusability karata kona functions use karva me say. Last class function type. Every function will have a return. So the return return caret. The return value out. Return kenna jet none manari on type konni value on. So this language has some null many manano. It returns none. And also we can last class we can kono input khalata manari say plus output we can print set the differences say. For example, we can input paja manati, we can input kona khalata many say. It will wait for input print kai input tell printer say. And also output normal can print different types of print. We can use karta. So normal printer. We can comma dikino on the sentence we can make it area. More comma you can there I don't know how many commas we can there comes now illa on the string we can f of many string type the curly bracer with the variable name type the total string we can replace it. So string 2 we can the variable set variable and here string 3 we can suppose to order matum I still don't want to do name age but last so number of arguments dot format many functions at the string dot format. The telama we can call order in there aski tell order curly braces replace. Say for example to me age didikin name there as movie tungavikin my name is many illa variable set the value add out and I am illa variable set the value add out. So I'm Alice years old, my name is 13 area. So illamamu we have to be cautious in the order of the arguments passed in this method. Listing. And in Hinata, we also saw something like a default separator and the default area. So, I mean, print function separator many on it will separate by default it is space. End of the line by default it is a new line. But here we can exclamatory area exclamatory we can print area space badlu star we can print area. Same thing if you want to see here. Let me let much me endum kai pajam ni for every print. So this is about input and output. So telamamu we can input ango kona actual use case can input kona high. Say yeah. So actual use case me say for example we can me on digit then digit badlu me string there as it will go to again print invalid input number area length to me you can keep this function running. So the user jaldi number khalna chana tappukan on the string with idea ni dusra kaiti idea ni on the letter attach ketiya manati to number avare length illa use kelva illa real time validation kinno python to me e karatavadu and validation so we can carry or input validate kenna nanna program likatolu unga string avarani number avarasi ni number paja string idea and so you can use these kinds of snippets to do your program. In general, input manati, it will wait for the user to input some value. And one more thing, to me there input the number can heti many, it will be considered as string. To me there input to me calculations kananjariya manati. I mean that is a built-in functions. String we can number can machata number we can string can machariya functions number khalatavlu see I use keldana illada we can int many machariya me calculator function onda say int many machariya halti it will convert that number into integer. So okay, so it is all about the input output and function. And I mean also on the novel data type say which is dictionaries. So Roshan kaiti doubts hai ya pura mic bhi kaki noise house. Okay. Okay. Fine. So dictionaries manari on the data type I mean say dictionaries khubba use karan manati. See I mean at the variables ithriya variables types of variables ithriya. But at variables manati jukku data store karata mari pata padai. So tevela we can multiple data types multiple values we can use kenna padai. So if we are writing a big program we can the number of variables we want to use will be huge. Like want a program likata we can jugu variables use kenna padai and त्याला विकिन लिंक करी त्याला माइंड में करी थोड़ा सा आऊँगा विकिन जिसको कोड लिख कर हमारी पड़े so देवल विकिन हमी विकिन डिक्शनरीज मनी वांटा variable data type विकिन यूज के लिए which is a key value pair so instead of विकिन हमी person one name take next to person one age मैंने दिले रहती इलाम वन डॉट डाल ऐड करता हूँ लो तुमको hundreds of people सेट है वंडा files सेट है file में विकिन 100 people data सेट है तो school data सेट है 50 students data सेट है मती 50 students का विकिन 5 data points सेट है name age class phone number सेट है मती 50 into 4 200 variables विकिन और हल create करता हूँ सना हमें विकिन 50 sets of data विकिन थोड़ा कम से level काय करनो you will go to a dictionary में विकिन तुंगा विकिन key value pair है so left side में सेते ASCII key right side में सेते ASCII values so इल्ल कोना विकिन हमें access करता है मनी last session में से so keys ना keys मट्टू माउडे values ना values मट्टू माउडे items will return you everything and ilamamusi we how to access a specific item or the person of name he person one of name manati tunga we let's say alice mini avanjariya so to me kaiti value set can say if you want to add country manati to me we can illa madri country set kelwa he modify kenna mana direct amikona variable modify karta variable equal to the value there ki tele madri you can always give the dictionary variable name of manariya illa square bracket tavatal of manariya of key value tavatalu me equal to the kai value there is ki tele modify hoile tele mari illa me remove kanna illa city manariya illa dictionary me remove kanna mana del mani use kitu चले हमारी get to pop तो list में सेता मादरी से लेकिन get में ना रे get key इल्ल get of तुम्ही key value देती get of name में नहीं देती तुमका भी किनो name अभी किन return default value में ना रिया तो तुम्ही for example तले value नहीं ना तो लो तुम्ही उन्हें default value दे दो आता name ही ना जा default name हो ही name not given mana mari tunga want value return करना तो default value लेकिन ASCII you want a function लिखतोलु there will always be a default something in a programming language default kan minhina ja kai करना बना रही है normal kan define करना आमी लिखतोल में नहीं लमारे default एक या validations करा रही है it's a good sign of writing code अंगो detail का नमी इल्ला skip in करी last class in say so this is about dictionary this is still class 6 just a recap इल्ला माम काइती doubts say Ritik Roshan PK
see that
okay thank you so in the wiki no I mean exception handling many of the concept in Sanjay. So, I mean, first class on the basic syntax whenever we try to run a program, on the program we can on the error audio manati, we can program we can stop here. So tella kaga halti error mani aunga the kayariya but illa want a line halti or a hal next line we can kai set our program is abruptly ending the program to me 100 lines of code likhriya want a line error set halti so rahala we can next line of code ka we can jatam sari so let it be any anything for example to me I can print karta try kar diya So ये length to me correct course at the code length to run high errors at the line and B it is going to fail. So illa madri I every 6 classes length area. We never went to on error manakaya kolla error away. Ni koga halti illa fail horia. Ni fail horia we can anga kalai, but we haven't learned a way to handle that failures. So illa kaim entana we can error handling or exception handling many programming languages in sangotan. Kaga illa satamanati tumi program likariya askia we can tura control musi we can ghai tumi likariya codum ghai many expect karta musna. For example, I input output likatolo. Say I kai kar let's say input output tone. Me we on the input we can color. Okay. But the input color tikam me we can more program illa input we can me plus number 10 many carrier. Okay, or hina jati illa we can int int of input of number 10 me 10 deti plus 10 carry more 20 minute. We can normal program. Ata me ellada we can string deti illa program we can fail hijari. Kaga fail horiya, it is because of the user input. User jal to me number dana entry, but we are giving a string. User general can kaipana devai. Can be error code or it can be pajamanti there havai, ni test karar havai. Ni we can kalnata there havai, ni ka hard mistake kiri kin there havai, kona pana havai. But illa there halti, suppose me on 100 lines illa mari likiri amati, kunni 100 lines execute honjare ni, thedo we can fail hindari. Or the next process we can jari in. Normal kana we can juku input khalna on a set of juku inputs khalna. Take a next on the program we can execute karna manatolo. First input musi program fail haikino. The script to run horiyati bharada urati. Aunga we haven't handled error properly many method. Programmer language you haven't handled these errors properly many method. Validation we can carry and so I mean illat kera madri Askithenga we can validate many layer hatamsana. Atamoga number paja illa we can number ya many sana. So there could be illa user input error we can one reason to fail. User we can tapana it but on the program run karatolu, there could be hundreds of reasons for the program to fail. To me on the file import karar havai, any file kottiri or hai, system 1 the system 2 data our havai, he user input kan there havai. Here we can know to a memory we can know leak hoi kino memory for not at a more computer we can 16 GB. Me on the program we can know on the files at 20 GB file. Tell we can each open karada try kararia. So if I'm trying to open a 20 GB file in my memory, where my memory itself is 16 GB manati, it is going to give me memory error. So illa we can, there could be hundreds of reasons for a program or for a code to fail. So Askia we cannot keep handling. I cannot keep checking the memory. Memory check and I have to metadata and possibilities are there. But still, I don't want my program to fail, Manapolo. We will go for a concept called exception handling. Exception handling, we will have a try and catch block, catch or except block. So, you try this. If it is not happening, you come here. So, to kai meaning manati, to 10 lines of code you try to run. Telamam torahal dikitharta musnata error avarasi manati, any error to a wikin illa dauda. Mani sangatwai. Ponda dival kai hoi तुंगा काय error avai many tumi guess करवाई. So for example आता विकिन तुम्ही on the calculator program लिखरिया anything divided by 0 is not defined. त्याला विकिन computer हाल देता मुसना. तुम्ही on the मोठा calculation करता वालो कोर्टी on the थाम विकिनो तुंगा विकिनो 0 divisible कररिया मारी आवडती. तो हाल त्याला विकिन calculate विकिन करता मुसना. So divisible by 0 avatol tunga tala error type kalai tala type kai message tanaki tala many dilwai. If you know the error type manati tala exception many tumi avikino keldatam say. So tala avikin there are few types of exceptions. Tala exception hina jetumni tumi common error dilwai. Tala exception tunga kalai manati tumi avikin tala kalai error avikin dilwai. So for example, atami avikino illes avikin tella normal syntax for writing code. So normal kan moda programs likatolo on the function bitaru code parameters machariya error avata chance at many avanga confirm kan kalaiki mostly after your variable declarations. Try catch manariya ketta. So on a specific block of code mani try catch karano he on a full function mani try catch karano depends on what problem you are solving. So yeda vikino say me avikin illa run karta try karariya illa in general kai hoir hai illa exception hinata me avikino print x mani di to me avikin program fail here. Program fail is program exited without doing anything. So the less normal behavior. Ana ada to me avikin try catch bukar area healthy. Your program is not failing. Illa avikino kadisilento avikino it is ending properly. Illa avikino say end of my program. End of my program nanta run horiya illa case mo oga end of my program nanta avuna it will fail abrupt. But in this case your exception is handled. Illa exception o see unga vikino name error adhaadu variable hinatha error manaretaga name error mani seta tumi tella name error illa message de manare hal illa message de area otherwise it will say something else went wrong and till it will go to the next line. Normal kan and failure our next line jana. But to me try catch with it will go to the next line. End of my program many out. So illamamu see if it is not name error, if it is something else. Many manati tunga vikin something else ikavai. Illaga mikiri avenge. We will see how to skip here and skip come here. Mikiri avenge. So this is on the exception. Illa within basic syntax. Illa mamusi will go next. So illa mamusi avikino say ami on the program likariya on the try catch tavariya. So the try catch mo you want something to be executed always. Yeah, we can on the try karariya. Say avikino on the file open karta try karariya. The file avikino normal kano create query tella mount a process on the report to store query tella avikino on the thama avikino upload ketti tella file delete kettano. So less tella program through a logical program on the solution on the use case concept manati creating a file work hoya tunga avikino writing into the file adhaadu tella file content report preparation aski hoya tella file save hoya but upload horiya tamam prachana hoya sari prachana hoya okay tella upload avikin hoiriyan tumi kai kenna horiya upload karatarus your program should end but upload karariya service down se nahi kaiti on the problem se the upload is not working manatolo tumi create kara report you cannot keep creating ata mara server seta mara server 1 GB handle karayi on the report avikin 10 MB manati. Suppose mara failure me retry Askithenga Namaskaar report try karatol tala report we can delete for animati. Tala report delete karna ta halti through reports we can store hele away. Upload kerhana. Tunga we can delete kerhana. Me logic kona likiro. You upload that file, you delete that file from the server mani likiro. Upload hai this delete kawai. Upload hona tha unga delete kawrahan jariyan. So eval kai karano. You will do something like unta try unta catch kettikino. Finally many unta dinan. So finally will always get executed irrespective of whether you are getting this or not. Atha we can say, for example, x equal to 10 minutes at a manati. Your x equal to 10 illa valid code area, illa try succeed area, a we can through code avanjari. But still your finally code will get executed. There's something like to illa mam kai pana kella kadaisi illa dia musatikamo, either if try is good or it is going to exception, you execute this many method here. So me that is anga use case mo. So me file create katriya to upload karara skin hiki. Ana end of the day tala file delete katta so that mara memory we can ekanata hai. Me we can 1 GB system tholriya. On the file report keri dhatatol maga we can 100 MB away. 10 times fail hai mara server crash hai 1 GB full hai hadi. So mo to all to karatolo file for a skin hiki. Mo failure avikin to sangata illa mari upload hairi and him. Me free mini generate this. But delete this file manaria operation avikin final in Python. The madri jugutham on the variable declare kararia, try catch and tavaria, the variable last the function endum free we can reset ketana or free connections close ketana or file we can remove ketana. Or anything that has to be in that me on the Visham try carry Musatol tell reset karatolo reset hayana manare code askia we can finally in high. So me I can goes on the log paja finally the log we can push ketta mani. You can always use this finally block. So the try block illa we can exception block except many finally block. So that is all about exception handling. So normal on a function likatolo, it is always a best practice to use try catch. Try catch means try except. So most of the other programming languages we'll call it as try catch. Here we can try and except me over here. Going at illa we can step 2 of exception handling. Illa mamusi we can say tunga we can know to know one type of error. You know the one type of error many manatolo. Say for example, Mila run karatol. Run karatol me can enter a number. So illam kai karariamati me result can division. Division number 1 calibria, number 2 calibria. Illama can the exception with calibria. Value we can error can be invalid input many umba area maria vari. Value error can be 0 division error our say many manati tunga we can division by 0 many avaria. The firia me run carrying it. So first case 24 by 12 2.0 many out here. Second case miyata we can on the normal can value avaria illa mama we can odane we can tunga value error we can out here. Illa deerana jeti avanga kai hoirayi avanga int convert karatolu see avanga int convert karatolu see me on the tappukan on the number there as anti unga fail high illa int convert try catch the area how the it is going to give you a value. Illa mamu see say for example 23 dBA, 12 dBA, the value out here. Same value error divide by 0 kara. So divide by 0 karatolo tell exception comment keteriya tell actual can likiriya. So anything divide by 0 it's not defined. Infinite manadiya. So you cannot expect the computer or a program to handle variables result manathon infinite many. स्टोर करता हमारी आउना डिविजन बाय 0 मिनिमम तो हल कैलकुलेट करता मुस्ना हमारे होती तेल ब्रेक हो जाती है तो सेम थिंग 12 by 0 division by 0 इसके उन्हें धन्ना प्रोग्राम हल्ती we are able to know so for example me अविकिनो उन्हें मोटा प्रोग्राम लिखा रसी say number 3 मनी number थोड़ी नो number 2 minus number 3 मनी कवर रसी इल्ला माम तला user को कलाना whether it will be divisible will get divisible by 0 or not. The 12 manaria, me 3, 1 manati, 12 by 2, 6 many number. So, let's see 12 manaria, me 3 kin 3 there, so manati, 3 minus 3 is not divisible by 0. So, illa dusra deri input bhiti on the file bhi input mavati, anywhere it is in your calculation, error divisible by 0 many avdiya manati. तुंगा विकिन इल्ल एरर विकिन प्रिंट है यार इल्ल एक्सेप्शन ब्लॉक प्रिंट करता मट्टुम ना कैन डू दी नेक्स्ट स्टेप्स इल्ल मारी आउडिया मनती तुम यूजर संगवाई नी ऑन द फाइलम राइट केलवाई तला मारी विकिन कायपना केलवाई बट practice is to have try and catch and try and accept and try to handle these kinds of errors properly तुंगा कोन्निया कलारनी मनती except many thai illa except nare now then after default kanu you can go for all the errors so illa do see abikino moga illa 0 avaya kalana ni I want to have something in common manati illa mattum deedu something went wrong in your way. If you are not sure of what these exceptions could be manatolo so tela madri tumi exceptions many seti default can provide exceptions as kid high so common types of exceptions like you know say
that try kai kare
sango
tell try function tell kai kare
tella kai karari yeah
hi that
it will try to execute these lines
tell not mili kerwa yada
telan hinata meni kervai ata telan hinata tumi avikino illa try kin except avikin oddeskana avaitu
oh
tumi for example the mari detalo illa except avikin invalid syntax viki try sangadi avatalo except avai
oh okay
it should come together तुम्ही ट्राई केरी ट्राई फेल है या जवा पास है नेक्स्ट जड़वा मन तमादी
oh okay
so illa mari vikino there are common exceptions mo zero division error value error तुम्ही विकिन incorrect type maudiya manati tele mari type विकिन tapkan detol value error ही type mu तुम्ही kerariya programming kaiti string and string keratol type तुम्ही अविकिनो say for example list अविकिन कायती करारा सुना index error नी dictionary अविकिनो key दकाना तकी तुम्ही header आसी say तुम्ही dictionary साथवालो say if you are trying to access the country of the person where the country itself is not there मैंने तो तेला उन्टा error आवंदारिया तो तेला error मट्टुम catch करिकिनो say country मट्टुम दकानी मनारे तुम्ही कोटी note केलना मना you can note it down so इल्ला common exceptions but illa kaga manati to make your program more safe the on the failure hinata we can normal can any program ami we can fail honata mari silna soft closure kanur hana tella we can break hoy kino dusra program se break karata niya we can end abrupt can end horiya tella it is going to affect the entire system to me on the mutta system on the program lekatolo all the errors should be properly handled. Illa mamusi avikin any error handle avatolu on the server aski likatolu, any error handle go to the error many menthuva. Kagamanati tella error avikin tunga avikino दूसरा full service करके ना affect करा होना अतः on the website अस्की से था हमें general con code लिखा तो लो any error that comes go to the error many normal can लिखा तो the exception handler or high so तेगरा विकिन error का विकिन move करी तले log करी किन तले select होगा तेगा reason कायम नती अतः मी login करा रिया दूसरा अस्की select से था one day on the page मो on the error आवरिया तला error अविकिनो आवरिया हालती full website का विकिन आवर हाल down करता हूँ सुना तला error ये तला page हम आवलेर हांडा तला विकिन तला user संगीती हमको report कराई नहीं ना जेती हमको आमी आवर logs अविकिनो monitor करती आमी चे fix करवा which is fine but you cannot break your whole service or whole program or whole server because of one line of error. So exception handling tunga vikino crucial can consider करना any programming language नन्ना programs लिखता लो okay but तुम्ही under professional program लिखता लो exception handling अविकिन condition करना anywhere any programming language exception handling condition है ये मटुम ना तुम्ही JavaScript Java all programming language कलते मनी exception handling or error handling will be there.
Okay, that's it.
Okay. So this is about exception handling. Next we'll see about one of the last concepts, file input and output. Output aski screen print keri sile sata. We have never dealt with files. So on a text file, any types of files, we can text file mattum savai. So we have never on a file read karta kono. Ni on a file seta tella we can likata kono, create karta kono, tella skia we can Syrian. We will today see how to read or open or write a file. So we go sample can files create kiri tholriya. Your file one is a text file. Normal can on the text file we can gkino notepad and you can always open a file. And write carry to me can save carry whole way. So we can program access manner we can survive. So yes. So again, to me open manner we can on the built-in function in Python. Me open mentikino, you will give the path of the file. Path of the file manatolo. To me file we can file input tholriya info. Excuse me. Illa local folder mo tunga seta hati direct file one.txt many midiriya. Text detkam kai karariya on a variable mo illa file we can read karariya. Read karatol tella we can print content katari. So, actual can kai meaning manati the human brain memory saatale illa file seta illa file can me open kartariya. Okay, open karatikamu. That kai di hodaya second line is file.read. I am reading this file. This is a content inside the file. We are learning file handling in Python. So, illa can me read kartariya. Read kartikam kai karariya print mini diya. So, it is going to print the content whatever is. Normal can human readability code. So you are opening a file, you are reading the content, you are printing the content. Okay. Then next we can there are some file operations. So to me on the file we can read kervai, write kervai, delete kervai. Delete next is so we will see about only file read and write. So to me file musia we can write many set. So write we can me file write karta try karariya. It says file we can not written. Illa kaga many next having. Take a next file we can atami kai karaya illa file open karaya. read karaya, print karaya, illa davikin me close ketariya, and I'm doing it. So illa close kenna tarhe kai hoi, tumi atavikin on the program open keri, so the system on the program open keri, tella close kenna ta either it's a Chrome tab or any other function, or tumi avikin this application. So kaiti game, so the kaiti on the application open keri itcher soddi alt tabum open kelleja kai hoi. At some point of time, your system to the memory funnata, your system is going to slow down. So same thing will happen here. So to me, on the file open karara, you should always end of the code or end of the when that open is good to me to for your operations mujjamanti, you should do a file close. Best practice. So illa me want on tawal me file open keri me hundreds of files open kero, tella file open keri read keri me avikin kobo close karta mini mokana, tella want a easy way of writing code avikin vajamanata hati to me with memory on the function avikino on the keyword avikin use keri, you can do the same like this. So with many to me open ketikino print content keri illa function illa block of code musatero illa file close manariya detanam. So it is automatically it will close the content. So file close manariya to me illa mari open karati close keristina in aje tella memory mus tella file memory high. To me how to do atam morjala within 16 GB RAM seta to me file open karariya within 1 GB file minute hold. So the 1 GB itcher memory hold here close kenna ata itcher process kelle seta mani artho. So normal kan 16 GB mu mara 8 GB 10 GB system dusras ki use karta jadai. Telamam to me 1 GB file mu si memory hold rehti. Dusra operation kartol, it is going to slow down your system. 16 GB avikin it's a very big server. Server many kalatolo. It's a very big RAM 16 GB RAM seta server. Normal kan I mean since you all are kids, to me on a game open karatolti in him application Photoshop this open karatolo tunga RAM jukko he tunga illa RAM hetis illa applications work karayi many sangai. So tele mari effective way kan to program handle karatolo si to me from the program likatolo to will utilize your memory properly. Askithenga program avikin likatam say ata avikin ASCII out ASCII out. But these are the concepts: tunga error handling, memory handling, tura avikino faster read, faster write, efficient kan career is where all the developers will tura expertise kona seta tura talent kona seta mani dekadaria how well you are handling this memory. Ikka bisa avarasi, ikka efficient kan tumi memory handle kararas is where your actual talent comes. So best practices mu file close kenna. If you don't want this kind of mode, use this with them open carry, do all these operations, and illa by default illa code musateru illa line avatar illa file avikin close. Tele avikin manari. Tele madri tumi Linux um dir heti. There are few permissions for that file. Ata me file open kartolo me read mattumu kenna read manariya go see chodata. So ata me file open ketriya illa file avikin me see tikino picture close karariya read mattum karariyamna read me illa avikino write karariyamnati I am writing to this file save karariya write karariya he avikino thati text avikin remove karariyamnati I am writing to this file. illa file ko me delete ketaremane I am deleting this file. Deleting and illa file avikin me nova can create kararemana creating this file. Illa iski normal permissions to access a file. So illa madri see when you are dealing with file operations Python open tunga avikin under the methods aski high. So adatu me avikin illa write karatolo illa say to me not writable minimum high. Kaga manati by default it opens in read mode. To me read mode open ketti write kenna manati tunga avikin राइट करता सोना तुम्ही याविकीनो राइट मोड मो ओपन करना हेलो तुम्ही याविकीन राइट मोड ओपन कर रही थी you will be able to write on that file. So we'll comment this one out. ಇಲ್ಲ ಲೈನ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೋಡ್ ಅದಕ್ಕಿನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲ ಲೈನ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೋಡ್ ಒಂದು ಫೈಲ್ ಡಾಟ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ನಪ್ಪ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಆಸ್ ಫೈಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಕರಾರಿಯ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವಿಕಿನ್ ಫೈಲ್ 2 ಅವಿಕಿನ್ ಓಪನ್ ಕರಾರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ರೈಟ್ ಕೋಡ್ ಅವಿಕಿನ್ನು ಸೇ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಕಾಯ್ ಕರ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವಿಕಿನ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಾಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಸೊ the content ಅವಿಕಿನ್ ಕಲ್ಡರಿ so if you see here it says write mode ಅವಿಕಿನ್ನು creates a new file or overwrites an existing one many sangariya. So we'll try and run this. The read mode we will do it as write. By default, write mode see. So we can illa jetkai dena jetkai illa read mode more high. So illa hina jeti it is going to read the content. So we illa file content we can read karte. Okay. And next we can know I mean write mode on the file we can open the file. So let try Sangaryamanati write mode tayati. It will either create a new file or if the file is already there, it will write a new file. So let me kai so let me we can run this. So new file text manager create a hello world message. Same remove this. Okay. So the file delete kitri. Free me run karti. Free avikinu. It is going to create a new file. Atami even if I run it one more time, it is going to create a new file. Telekona I check let's say I'm doing on a number there. So the file back this the file avikin delete free recreate kariya. So if you see to me on the file operate karatolo every time it creates a fresh file. So तुम्ही याविकीन on the files आता तुम्ही one डाल लिखतोल नवा file can लिखला one डाल run करतोल you do a fresh content मनतोलो you will use a W कागा मना every time नवा file और है नी मोके तेलमारी नक्को याविकीन I want a file मी याविकीन लिखता याविकीनो I want to keep adding आता हिंदा उन्टा line लिखरिया write करता मी notes खल्लारिया हिंदा याविकीन 10 lines of code तुरा notebook मारी पाजा Day 1 10 lines likho, day 2 10 lines likho, day 3 10 lines likho. Tell the mode of opening the file append. So to me at a delay file say let's say replace kartai no work and open replace kartai. There is a mode called append. Append to me run karatolo to me it is going to append the context file dot write me on the content there as on the line of code on the line of text there as tunga append manati next chelle say to me for example let me go on 3-4 times execute so free file 3 also we can append relay away. Next line over here to me let slash of n diri hal slash of n dirani me append kelle jariya nati the line of code undi seti one line of kamna slash n diri ni normal kan slash n manatolu to programming concepts slash manariya onta escape sequence n manariya new line. So new line to code many manati you have to give a slash n. The slash n hina jeti to the code avikin. It will be on tail line to the kai print there aski allow write there aski tella.
The append kosara.
Append avikin illat sir. Illa open mode mo to me illat write mode open karaya read mode open karaya a manariya append.
Oh. त्याला स्ट्रिंगिम काय कसं येतात
काय
स्ट्रिंगिम कोट्स अंडर सेट
இல்லையா இல்லக்கி
हाय नो त्याला ए
हाय இல்ல ஸ்ட்ரிங்கும் ககசெத்த மணிப்பு சரியா
हायदा
ஓகே तुम्ही இல்ல विकिन ओपन मॅनरिया उंट फंक्शन कन खल्लो ओके आता आम्ही उंट फंक्शन लिखतोलो तुम्ही आम्ही उंट फंक्शन लिखतोलो येडा विकिन आम्ही स्ट्रिंग कन देया होटन सेया
हायदा
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಲ್ಲ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಕಾಯ್ ಕರೆಯ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಥೋಳಿಕಿನೋ ವಿ ಡಿಡ್ ಹಾಯ್ ಆಲಿಸ್ ಮನಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಿಯ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವಿಕಿನ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಕರೆಯ ಇಲ್ಲ ದೀರ್ಘಾಣ ಜೇತಿನಿ तुम्ही अविकिन ಇಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಕನ್ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಕರೆಯ ಹಾಲ್ತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ मी ಕಾಯ್ಕೆ ಹವು ಇಲ್ಲ ಓಪನ್ ಮನೆಯ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸೇ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಓಪನ್ ಮನಿ ಥೋಳು ओपन इच्छा डिक्लेअर करता मसना ಇಲ್ಲ ओपन मनी थोड़ो ಇಲ್ಲ स्ट्रिंग अविकिनो भीतर त्याला ओपन फंक्शन भीतर इफ त्याला ಇಲ್ಲ विकिन से ग्रीटिंग म्हणता बदलू दुसरा काहीतरी सेता ग्रीटिंग इक्वल टू ए या मनी सौ तो त्याला मारी त्यांना विकिन भीतर बिल्ट इन कन डिफाइन करहान एक जी त्याला स्ट्रिंग कन विकिन खलाली ಅದು ಇಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಕನ್ ಕಗಮನಿ ಸರಿ ಅನ್ನತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಓಪನ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮಿಜಿ ಸೇತಿ ಮೋಡ್ ಅವಿಕಿನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಕನ್ ಖಲ್ಲತಿ ಫೈಲ್ ಪಾತ್ ಕಿನು तुरा मोड अविकिन स्ट्रिंग कन खल्लरी तले स्ट्रिंग हैंडल कर रहा आर मना इल्ला केरी ए मना इल्ला केरी डब्ल्यू मना इल्ला केरी मना रिया कर रहा बिल्ट इन तले कर रहा सो इल्ला मारी ए मनी धड़ता मुसनाता आऊंगा अविकिनो हम स्ट्रिंग कन धड़ारी डायरेक्ट ए धड़ना
ओ ओके ना
ಇಲ್ಲ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಮೀಟರ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಕೋನ ಫೈಲ್ ಪಾತ್ ಬಿ ತೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾರಿ ತೆಲ್ಲ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಮೀಟರ್ಸ್ ತೆಲೆ ಮಾರಿ ಇಫ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಓಪನ್ ಅ ಫೈಲ್ ಅತ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ तुम्ही पाथ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏಟ್ ಸೇತ ಹಾಲ್ತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿಯಾರಿಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಮಿಂಗ್ ಮುಸಡಂಗನ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ
ಓಕೆ ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರೀ ಡಿಫೈನ್ಡ್ ಮಾರಿ
ಇಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರೀ ಡಿಫೈನ್ಡ್ ಮಾರಿ ಸೈ predefined options arguments for a function
okay okay
okay so illa mamu see read write append read one we can read mattum kare you cannot write we can the file het kai rana jet kai nobba can write katai it will delete the existing contents replace karare amari katai append we can it will keep adding the content new content to the file similarly ಇಲ್ಲ x ಮನರಿಯ w ಮಾದರಿ ಸಿ ತೆಲ್ಲ ವಿಕಿನು say if the file is already there ತುಂಗ ವಿಕಿನು it will tell the file is already there file exists mini ಅವಡೆ तुम्ही त्याला error type सातवलो we just saw about चार error type सेया येट तुम्ही सेती there is one more error type called file exists तुम्ही ಇಲ್ಲ many विकिन exception ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ವೈ so for example आता ಇಲ್ಲ say ಇಲ್ಲ विकिन मी try budget and catch exception ಅನ್ನೋ sorry failure exception so file already exists muri avai so instead of illa mattum tholriya tunga wikino poor coding maude because you didn't check whether the file is there or not tunga replace hotana kaatala file here hidden da say me ata one daily report kenna or daily report generate hoide kin hike mini kalana generate hoida sodda generate hoira na jer generate carry manare mar heti illa mamu kalai the file already exists mana report is already there atha me in the date konta create karasi on the text file nanti in the date already setam nanti I won't go and create that particular file tella mari manathol you will not create for example atha file he the new file manaria he mani manati tunga wikini illa new file annu illa contents gaadi tunga create so this is about file open karta, close karta, illa vikino file hinatol nonda exceptions angadi. Example 2, do a read, write, append, and create a new file if it's not already existing. Illa mamusi, there is one more option called atamoga vikino the file already setaki hiki mini mokalana. Still, I want to keep appending my content. The file heti, I should keep appending my content. R plus there are few more options like this, but R plus we will see only about R plus today. So Telamadri Satolo, we have something called R plus, which it will not replace the file, but instead unga vikino the file vikino append kelle ave. So the file vikin file to seti unga vikin the content vikin append kelle ave. Wait. We also do one writer. Yes, read content very much area. The last line we'll talk about the last line of saying. So this is about basic file handling, input to output sorry. I mean input read many area, write many area. Illa mama file write say open say file dot close say text file kona open karta area. Illa path normal kan to default Linux and Windows path we can use. For example, /total same folder. Many of like folder path there illa folderum illa file he sangai. So illa folder he to relative path illa folder he goes we give it as right. Okay, the content but open area direct area healthy. But illa place it is writing a file. Let's see the file is hello world. So the relative path Windows relative path Linux the Mac use Linux path. So that is about your file open, close, and write. Illa mamusi the file delete class. Illa mamusi there is one more called file reads and lines mosi. Unga read lines read line every line read so the hello world 1 hello world 1 many read read lines mini read lines list variable say list variable madri full one line kana list on the list variable to me assign this about read lines. File.seek mini the file position mini normal can on the concept away at the file.seek mini on the position to me move at the file 3 file 3 move 1 2 3 mini count 0 1 2 3 mini moga illa position move to me file position move you can use file.seek. File.tell kolla position move rasi file.tell. And we are having a file. We can read lines read line or read line mini file.seek the position move and then the position file read print print Ungavikin illa content manadiya illa hello world 2 next line be avai. Say for example me 14 minute also. So illa hello world 2 here avai see, but our first line avikino hello world 1. Let us determine seti. We have 13 characters. Illa 1 to 13 setakai. We have 13 characters in this line. So the seek manariya ami 0 me count kerva. 0 me count kera 12 is avai. 12 become 13th avikin illa. So when there is a 13th character, illa the line question move kellavya. So if you want your control to go over some question manati, the question move kellavai. Kolla question seta manariya tunga paja manati tell use kellavai. So this is illa robber rush kerayasi. But this is all about your file open karata on practice karata you will try to get familiar with these methods. So Illamama we can maybe if you are interested we can have one more extensive file read or dusra types of files askisavai. But this is about all basic file handling and your exception handling code for Python. So illa normal can file handling it's a little more than basic, but it is good to know. I mean our healthy we can create a file or read a file manatolu. It is good to know. And when it is intermediate avatolu, in general I mean atta kai keriya manati on the file I can full read kerikina print keriya. But the best way is to read every line or stream atau normal kan avanga muda files avai. Anything lesser than 10,000 lines or 20,000 lines is acceptable for a full read. Normal kan tella ami jukku memory dhana 10 MB 15 MB lolam high, so it is okay to read it as a full file. But more than that, even me mana 10 MB 20 MB depends on the case. So more than that manatolu ami chunk kan rover kanu read keri process keriba. So telamari concepts avatolu will always do a line by line reading or teganavaski streaming mentuva input streaming output streaming telamari mentuva illa append manare mani streaming goes. So me one on the line kana add karari, you are not adding everything fully. So one on the line kana slash and then add karatol, it is called line by line streaming. This is about your file handling. Lamam kaiti doubts say kaiti sanaya, because we are over time. If you are okay, we can you can ask doubts. I'll try to solve. Any questions? Any dusra questions kaiti say overall 7 classes?
Surya,
Yes.
sessions okkadodasi mother the sessions full ga navinamu attend kareyandi from the beginning tavala attend kareyriya illa source avina koti erkane share keraski abaiki
Last class avikino Ramani Dajal seta. I'll stop this record.